Hey, Omi, I'm at the craft store. You said you just needed some trimming for your new hijab, but Kala's been asking for a shiny dress to wear to preschool, and I think I found the perfect fabric that if you're looking for another project. Yes, I know she'll outgrow it quickly, but it's on sale, and it's blue, so she'll look and feel like a mermaid. You know how delighted she'll be. No, Omi, I don't think that's a gateway drug to immodesty and sin. Look up Muslim cosplayers when you get the chance. They're incredibly creative about it. 1 second, Omi. Yes? Where are the rhinestones? I'm not sure. Have you asked an employee? That's what I'm doing. I don't work here, and unlike my mother, I'm not in here often enough to know off the top of my head. Then you need to find me someone who does know. No, I do not. You are not my child, spouse, parent, or friend, and so your concerns are not my responsibility. Yes, they are. I need help, and I'm asking, so you have to say yes. No, I don't. What? It's part of the magic of not being employed here, and of boundaries. Respect it. Oh, where is the manager? Manager! Yes, Omi, it is a crazy white lady. I don't know why some of them feel so entitled either. No, Omi, I don't think it has anything to do with what they eat. There. That's the problem. What? How? Why? Good morning. Sorry about this. I asked her for help, and she was so rude and hostile, she even threatened me. I'm terribly sorry. See? She admits it. That this is taking up your time, sir. But if you do plan to ban anyone, I would recommend you check the security cameras first. The cameras don't have audio, that'd just be a waste of time. In that case, I have the call recorder app on my phone. You were certainly loud enough that my mother heard you. You record phone calls to your mother? I record and usually delete all my phone calls. Some call it paranoia, others call it being an American Muslim of color. That is illegal. I did not give you my consent to record anything. I don't need it. Did you want to hear it, sir? That's not necessary. Ma'am, would you please exit the store? What? You're harassing my customers and wasting my time. Please leave or I'll have to call the cops. This is ridiculous. I asked her for help and she was rude
Omi.
to me.
Yes, the manager took care of it.
No, my fairy boss is not able to curse her. Because she's not here, and I did not get that woman's name. Now, how much of this fabric am I buying for a dress? 2 yards? 3? Really? That much? You just want to make a matching hijab for yourself. Fine. So no Bob or Cyrus today? No, it's one of those old-timey fairy holidays. Bob and Nicole said that it was like the main thing in Europe before Christians turned it into Easter. Can't remember the name. Oh, Ostara. How the hell did you know that? Look, I might never have had as stable and sickeningly sweet of a relationship as you and Nicole, but I have dated a few witches and pagans. They're the ones most likely to go for a guy with obvious demon genes anyway. You pick up a few things. Okay, the way you said that almost made it sound like knowledge of paganism is an STD. So the reason you failed social studies and history class is because you couldn't get laid? How? So Nicole's out celebrating with them? Yeah, basically, I think so. She's a Buddhist and doesn't really believe in all the gods and deities exactly, but Michael does, and Nicole's always down to hang out with the coven. They and the fairies are having some sort of garden party. Okay, I was kind of annoyed that they got to bail on work for such an obscure holiday, but if it's for gardening, oh, hell no. I'll take the Karens and coffee burns any day. Weak. I'll be in the back. Whew, that wind. Well, guys, I know it's chilly, but thank you for coming out and helping us celebrate Ostara with replanting the Coven Gardens. And special thanks to Bob and Cyrus for supplying the coffee and hot chocolate. We know our place in this world. And hey, bonus snacks! Hey, guys. Am I too late to the party? A little. We just finished planting the garden, but now we're taking a break to socialize. Perfect timing then. I did bring cookies. My god, Google said that this holiday is mostly about spring and rebirth and stuff, so they are flower cookies. Literally. The purple ones have lavender, the pink are rose, and the yellow ones have sunflower seeds. Why have you not made these for the cafe? Because I literally only thought of them this morning. I'm good, but I can't jump through time. I don't think you should have added frosting. It's distracting from the subtle flower flavor of the cookie, which is otherwise excellent. Come on, you can help me paint the fence. Aw, I thought I arrived in time to avoid all the work. Nope. A star is about new beginnings and new goals, and the best way to do that is with a strong start. The garden's been planted, but it'll look crummy with a crummy fence. Agreed. We were just about to start. I don't suppose I can weasel out of this by saying I'm not a pagan or a witch. Neither am I, but a large part of Nichiren Buddhism is goals, renewal, and victories. Also, I'm your girlfriend, and I said so. Yeah, I guess. Are you okay? I'm only teasing. You don't have to if you don't want to. But no, I do. I figured this would happen. Anyway, I just had a moment of brain freeze. Where's that paint? Hello? Eric, I think I'm in love with Nicole. You're only figuring this out now? Okay, look, I don't mean to be that guy, but you've been dating this girl for almost a year. How have you only just now figured out that you love her? There is a difference between crushing on someone, caring about them as a person, and being in love with them, alright? I mean, it's basically apples, applesauce, and apple pie. Okay? Well, now I'm hungry, so thanks for that. Why are you freaking out? How the fuck am I supposed to tell her? Just say that you love her? Be serious. I am? I've only met her a few times, yeah, but she seems like the type of person who appreciates that direct, no-nonsense approach. Yeah, I can't tell if that's an autistic thing or a Nicole thing, but what if she doesn't feel the same? Then I've just made things awkward. She might even leave. Look, JC, mathematically, it's gotta be uncommon for two people to fall in love at the same time, right? I mean, like, someone's gotta do it first, and then someone's gotta have the balls to actually say it first. Okay, you do realize that Nicole has bigger balls than you and me combined, right? Okay, well, then don't tell her. Wait for her to tell you. But what if she already loves me but is scared to say anything because she doesn't want to scare me off? I mean, she has a hard time reading people. I am too tired and too sober for this conversation. Also, not exactly an expert. My love life has always been a mess. One night stand, I'm the king. Actual emotional intimacy? Maybe ask Bob. She knows everything and is like 1,000 years old. Yeah, Bob's a romantic. I think this is the one thing that she is not an expert on. Okay, then Cyrus. That's a good idea. I know. Now go the fuck to sleep. Yeah, I think if Janine plays wizard, then I can take paladin. Oh, actually, no, she's gonna cast fireball on my head. I just know it. Huh? Hold up, Pat. I've got another call. Yeah, we'll chat tomorrow. See you then. JC, how do I tell Nicole that I love her? Have you not already done that? No, I haven't done that. I didn't even figure it out until today in the garden when she was sassing me. Why is Jennifer Charles shrieking? Apparently, they just now realized that they're in love with Nicole and are now making it my problem. Good luck. So, I guess first question, you've been pretty far gone on her for a long time. Why is this new? Because I cared about her, sure, but then I guess it was a gradual thing? Like, when you put a cake batter in the oven and it starts off as batter, but then you pull it out, it's cake. But there was like a whole process between here and there, and, well, I guess I just now realized that I was in the oven and the cake is done. Oh, okay, I think you lost your metaphor, but I see your point. Well, look, from a pure outsider perspective, Nicole is the type of person to appreciate, like, direct honesty, but she also values her partner's comfort, like, above all other things, so telling her immediately and waiting are both valid options. Not helping. Well, Look, I don't know what you want from me, okay? Most of my romantic partners were awkward, uncomfortable things because of the biromanticism before gay rights, and also the asexuality before internet, so they typically ended pretty quickly by one party or the other. The one time I had a truly functional romantic relationship, he died. There is a lot to unpack there. Are you okay? Yeah, it was decades ago. I've had therapy. It's all good. It was actually Patrick's cousin, so you can ask him or boss about it if you want a war story. One trauma at a time. Fair enough. My advice, talk to Husnia. Tomorrow. Hey, Husnia! You got a minute to answer a really weird question? Oh, sure. So long as it doesn't traumatize Drek. It's okay, I already finished eating my lunch. I don't think it will. Hopefully. So you're married? Yes? When did you tell him that you were in love with him? Like, when you immediately found out, or did you wait? Oh, I told him as soon as I realized, and I was the first to say it. But he was the first to actually fall in love. To hear him tell it, it was love at first argument, so he had to pick his moment to let me know. First argument? Well, we got off on a bit of a rocky start. See, it was an arranged marriage. Arranged? Whoa, like forced? Oh, not at all. Forced marriage is when one or both parties have little to no say in the matter. Arranged marriage is a suggestion. Honestly, Western families do it all the time. They just don't like admitting it. My parents asked me what type of person I was interested in, and they did their best to find me as many suitors as possible that fit the list. I had every right to choose any of them or none of them. I could never trust my parents with that. Doesn't that get awkward? Like, on the dates? Well, sometimes. But I never have to deal with the nerves of introducing my date to my parents or online dating. Okay. Yeah, your people might be onto something. Mm-hmm. So, what was on your list, if I can ask? Oh, of course. I'm pan, so any gender, which my mother wasn't too keen on, but my father was thrilled because, according to him, it gave him more options. They did not have to be queer, but they did have to be supportive of queer rights as well as women's rights. I have no patience for sexism. I want to be a partner, not a housemaid. I wanted them to be religious. I don't think I'd ever marry an atheist. I'm sorry, JC. But they didn't necessarily have to be Muslim, just some belief in the divine. They'd have to want children eventually. Intelligence would be a nice bonus, but not a requirement. But I needed them to be empathetic, kind, compassionate, sweet, something like that. I feel like, even though it's a relatively low bar, a lot of people fell flat on their faces. You have no idea. However, one of my earlier potential matches was a woman named Fatima. She's a lesbian, very sweet girl, but while we absolutely adore each other, there was no romantic chemistry. However, we're still best friends and served as each other's bridesmaids. She married a very nice Jewish lady. It was a lovely ceremony. Aww. So, how'd the meeting with the future hubby go? Well, my mother's cousin had a friend whose son is openly bisexual and was giving his mother a headache because he did not enjoy the idea of an arranged marriage the way I did, and the people he'd been dating on his own had needed to work on themselves. That bad. Well, anyway, she convinces him to indulge her just this once. The two of us meet at a restaurant with our chaperones in the next table because, yes, Muslim dates are chaperoned to prevent shenanigans. I always appreciated that bit of safety, but at the time, he did not. He did not want to be there, and he asked me point blank, "Do you even want to be here? This seems archaic." That's a big brain word. I think it means old school, but bad. Very good, Drek, although it's not always used negatively. Anyway, I was less than impressed. I told him, well, yes, I do want to be here because I would rather have my parents choose a potential spouse and arrange supervised dates than deal with the hellscape, degradations, and dangers of online dating. However, if you would rather waste my time rather than simply refuse to engage in this custom, then instead you can buy me an appetizer and listen to me rant about the latest RuPaul episode. That will take at least half an hour. At which point, one of us can fake an emergency call from a friend or work and peacefully end the date. When you get home, you can then convincingly tell your parents that you tried, but we just did not click, while I ask my parents to fill my suitor roster with people who are actually interested in me, rather than my use to them as a beard to get them off their back. I'll take the shrimp cocktail. You really went for the most expensive item, huh? That is exactly what he said, right before apologizing, and then getting into RuPaul, because he also enjoys that show. It was a lovely date, although we had different opinions about what should have gone on in that episode. Wait, so that was your first argument? Pretty much. And he told me later that he knew at that moment that I was the one. Me, I needed a little longer to figure that out. He did not put his best foot forward. So, when did you tell him that you loved him? Was it during an argument? No, it was during a party, outside, away from the others, about 6 months later. He kept getting ice cream on his nose. The proposal was during an argument. And you said yes? Of course I said yes. If you can have an argument with someone and still, in the middle of that argument, want to spend the rest of your life with them, then that's how you know the marriage is going to be a good one. That is true love. So, how are you feeling about telling Nicole that you love her? Look, just play it by ear, alright? You'll be fine. One of those you'll know when it's the right moment kind of things. Oh, can I go back to being a miserable, drug-addicted jerk who didn't care about feelings and people? Sure. But we'll all be very disappointed in you. That is not fair. All's fair in love, war, and baked goods. Yeah. Alright, doors are locked, I'm mopping up, and then I'm heading to Nicole's for movie night, and I will be keeping my mouth shut because I'm not ready for this. That's fair. Hey babe, sorry I'm late. Cleanup was a bit of a night. Whoa. Yarn Granny was having a sale. Do you even know how to knit or crochet? Not yet. Oh my god, I love you so much. Oh shit. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna stand by that. You don't have to say it back. I cannot say that I am in love with you yet, but I am definitely getting there. And I'm not gonna say it until I mean it. Promise? Beaky swear. Awesome. Do you want me to make popcorn while you, unbury yourself? I don't know, it's very cozy under here. Hey Drek, morning rush just finished and JC is playing with a batch of flour cookies if you want a snack later. Cool. Thanks. You okay? Just thinking. You know, JC's talk with his knee the other day just... Can I ask you something? Shoot. How did you know that you were ace and bi? Or, like, bi-ace? Biro-ace? Bi-romantic asexual. But that's good. I'm gonna be stealing that. You know, it's different for everyone. Some people always knew. Others need time to figure it out. It doesn't help that we live in a sexist, queerphobic society that keeps trying to push us into these tiny little boxes, so, you know, internalized homophobia is often a problem too. And how... I didn't want to ask JC because they seemed kind of anxious about it, but how did you know if you're in love with someone? Why? Got a special someone in mind? Not really, just curious. Everyone around me is dating a different person every week, and I'm just like... Don't you just get tired? High school. Boy, am I glad I missed that. Well, again, it's different for everyone. And a lot of times it's different for every relationship. You know, falling in love with one person is going to feel different from falling in love with another. Sometimes it's super fast. Sometimes it's really slow. Sometimes you both love each other, but it's just not enough. And there are other problems in the relationship and you have to prioritize your own health. Even though love often means prioritizing other people's needs above your own, it gets kind of tricky. Yeah, and if you have a past of self-hate and abuse, it can really fuck you up. I got more dishes for you, Drek. That seems really confusing. Oh, it can be, absolutely. It's one of those things where it's the best and worst thing in the world. And I mean that about all love, not just the romantic kind. People tend to obsess over that to a frankly unnerving degree. So it's not just me. Some of my friends call me lame because I haven't had a girlfriend or sex yet. Dump them. Those little bastards will give you nothing but grief. But they help me with my homework. He's a big boy. He can handle himself. But for me, the best romantic relationship I had was with a werewolf named Sean. You've met his cousin, Patrick. This was in the 1950s, so I was a teenager by Fae reckoning, almost an adult. Him too, by werewolf standards. Worst sense of humor ever. Just the corniest jokes you've ever heard. And he would say them at the weirdest times, too. Like, never inappropriate, just not what you would expect. If he could get the boss to roll her eyes at him, that was a good day. And we didn't have the language we do today. Nobody could say that they were bi or ace or non-binary. But I'm almost certain that he was a sex-repulsed asexual, which suited me just fine. I've always been kind of meh about the whole thing anyway. Like hot dogs. I heard it as soon as I said it. So what happened? Korean War happened. He was struggling to find work, so he enlisted for some quick cash and stability. Came back in a coffin. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, as bad as it was for me, it messed Patrick up even more. I mean, they were practically brothers. And Sean's mom, she had gone over as a nurse. She pretty much went catatonic until the 90s. That really sucks. Yeah. But you know the really funny thing? Wouldn't trade it for the world, even if I knew exactly how it was going to end. Yeah. I can't tell if that is beautiful or crazy. Both. Sanity's overrated anyway. Good morning. Sorry, that was a really bad time to take a bite. You don't have to apologize to us, darling. We know how good the food here is. You're sneaking in a snack before that fasting starts. I wasn't planning on it. My breakfast this morning was huge, but JC pulled blueberry muffins out of the oven, my favorite, and one of them fell apart during plating, so mine now. Accidentally. I can't argue with that. I think we'll grab a couple of those straight from the oven as they are with our usual coffees, if you don't mind. I'll get it. And I have it on the screen for you right there. Once you're done, I can help the next customer. Oh, and there you are, darling. Oh, let's get out of the way, baby. Thank you. And what can I get for you? I'll just take a vanilla latte, medium, whole milk. Okay, your total's on the screen. I gotta ask, why do you follow a religion that makes you do that? Like not eating or drinking all day, isn't that a form of torture? Fasting is a choice. I do it to feel closer to God. Look, you don't have to punish yourself to do that though. That just seems really harsh. You know, plus all the sexism in Islam. Sexism is present in every religious institution. It's one of the few things they all have in common. Well, at least my religion doesn't force me to cover my head. Nobody is forcing me to cover my head. Just like nobody is forcing you to wear those ugly last season shoes. And yet, here we are. Oh, wow. You know, women like you set feminism back decades. Our ancestors fought for your freedom, and you're just throwing it in the trash. My ancestors fought and died for my freedom to choose. I am choosing to be Muslim because I believe in God, and this faith gives me the most joy. I'm choosing to honor God, my faith, and ancestry with the hijab and fasting during Ramadan. And you are choosing to be a bitch. Help me out here? Ma'am, I am one of those ancestors who fought for Title IX and equal pay. She is absolutely right. And speaking as a military veteran, the fighting and dying for the right to choose is right on the money. I don't understand the Muslim hair covering. Don't make much sense to me personally, but neither does Chinese or trigonometry. Don't mean I'm gonna force him to stop. She ain't hurting anyone. Alright, I've got 2 coffees and 2 muffins, hot and ready. Next up will be the vanilla latte for the woman who thinks people should only express themselves in the way she is most comfortable with. Excuse me? Oh, I'm not mad. You know how rare it is to get this woman to swear? I should put you in front of Bob, see if you can get her to go off. Nope, she's gone. I'll refund the order. I'd rather not deal with the nasty Yelp review accusing us of theft on top of everything else. Ugh. I want to disagree with you, but that does sound smart. And finish your muffin, the sun's almost up.